hybrid. So these are all the different things we have discussed. So those are all a part now. So, and also we have discussed the virtualization. What is virtualization? How many types of virtualization were there? So those are all the basic foundations to understand all these things. To understand things. So now we will start right and jump into the Amazon Web Services. So now we'll start. So first we'll start with basically how to sign up. How to sign up to the AWS. So what is signing up means? Creating your own account. So that's what it is. Is creating your own account. One second, guys. Okay, guys. Now, so the what is a sign up mean? Just we are creating an account with Amazon Web Services. So once you have created that account, you will log in with the credentials which you have created, and then once you have logged in, then you will start using the different services or the applications or the networks, disks, servers, different services and the products which were Amazon Web Services is providing. So we'll first see how to create the how to sign up for the Amazon Web Services. So here you can see that we have the link called console.aws.amazon.com. so either you can open this or you just open Google. If you didn't find, either you can go with this URL, you can just copy or paste or just click it. It will be just open this link. This will take you to the management console of the Amazon Web Services. As I already have the account, so it's giving me. So what you either what you need to do is just AWS console. Just create the console login. If you type that, also the same URL will come. So if you click that as well, the same thing will bring back to the AWS management console. Just click on here, sign into the console or sign into the AWS console, both the same. Say here you can see. So both the same. So what you can need to do is here you can mention your, one second guys. Okay guys, now so in the sign up process, what you need to do, either you need to mention your mail ID. So whatever the mail ID it should be, let's just mention. So what are the mail ID you have? You might be having some Gmail ID, or you just choose the I'm a new user and click on sign in using your secure server. So you just put your mail ID there and then click on your I'm a new user, as you can see here in the same. You can see here the same thing. You just click on I'm a new user and then click on it. And there is also another option that I'm a returning user and my password is. So if you already have the login, then you can choose here, but we are not having the login yet, so we are just creating. So that's why we are creating I'm a new user. Then your name, so what is the name you want to create? It just name it something like this, and then you can type your email ID again. So it's normal like how you sign up for any services or million email ID or something. Then you enter your email ID, sorry, enter your password. So create a password for the access. So once you just click on, then click on create account. So once you, then you can be asked with which type of account is a company account or the personal account. So if you are creating for your organization or you already own an organization, then you can go with the company account. Or if you want to just try it out and as a person you want to learn AWS and all, then we can launch with the personal account. So you need to give the same thing like what's your name. So what will be the name it is. So it's up to you how which name you want to create and all. And then country, you can say I'm selecting India here because I'm from India. So you basically give some address whatever you want to give it. So just right, like what are the address you want to give it, just give it. So whatever you want to give it, just give it. And then the postal code and all these things, you just give it. And the phone number, just you need to give it something, anything. I'm just giving nothing, just giving for it. And then you can see that what is the code, the image for the security, you just enter. And then check here to indicate that you have agreed to the AISP, so Amazon Internet Service Private Limited agreement. So we need to make sure the security characters are actually fine, so that so just click on creating account. Then you will be asked for the payment information. So payment information here, so you need to mention the whatever the name your, so what are the name on the card or your account, yes, you need to mention. And they need to, you can see that either credit card or the debit card. So I think somebody asked about the questions. I don't have any credit card, so how could I do it? So you can see here from the credit card or debit card, but it should be either Visa or MasterCard or American Express. So it should be a card. So most of the time it will be our Visa or MasterCard. So don't worry guys, you can use credit card or debit card. So you can basically give any number, the credit card or something, what are the number you want and what's your expirations and all. And then if you want to create a new account, you just create it. Else if you want to specify PAN, you can specify it, or if you say no, you can also say that I don't have a PAN, and then verify and card and continue. So basically you can see that I'm not actually maintaining exactly the same thing. So one second guys, I'm getting a call. Sorry guys. Okay, then basically you need to mention your credit card or debit card number. So for just give me 2 seconds, Rav, you can understand how actually things work. I'll tell you. You just need to give it the number. So I'm not giving the number, so that's why it's giving some information. But here I'll try to give my debit card number so that you can understand. So, 1 second guys, I'm getting my So I'm just giving my code. So you need to basically give the what is expiration date, and then the CVV and all, so you need to give it. So I can't give here, so that's why I'm not doing here. So you just need to give it here, something like this. And then once you provide it, then you need to verify and continue. The same way you can see that verify and continue. Just click on the verify and continue. So I'm just entering the CVV here for just verification. Just verify and click on continue. So you can see it will check the details, whatever we have mentioned. So once it has verified, so what you need to do is you need to mention your phone number here. Then if you have extension, you need to mention, otherwise you are just using mobile or that, then you can specify phone number, then click on the call me now button. So what it will do is, so it will Amazon Web Services, a support system will call you, like a IVR will call. So you're choosing that. Okay, might be transaction password or one time password, it's saying that. Okay, just you click on it. So you can see this, guys, it has deducting it to INRs, to rupees, to Indian rupees, it is deducting. So for why they are deducting means, for just verifying the details that you have provided. So what are the details you have provided, is it correct or not? So they will verify it. So don't worry, guys, make sure you have a 2 rupees of amount so that it can verify it. So once it is verified, so once they are able to deduct a 2 rupees from your account, so then AWS can understand that what are the details you have, either credit code or the debit code, whatever the details you have entered, Amazon Web Services will think that those are the actual credit code or the bank details that you have mentioned. So once they're done, so don't worry, guys, again after 2 days they will re-add it your re-credit to your account, the 2 rupees whatever they have deducted for the verification. So again they will do it. So again you need to just specify your phone number here. So I will not give my phone number here, so that's why I'm not giving. So once it is done, you can just click on the call me now button, so that I will get a call from the IVR, AWS IVR, and then so once you click on the call me now button, you will be, the page will refresh and the page will come like this. So it says the pin, something pin. So when I start creating it, it is giving this 63037 pin. So what you need to do is, once you get the call from the IVR, AWS IVR, then you need to answer it. Once you answered, then it will ask you to enter the pin. This is what is the pin in your time. So for me it's like 6307, but you will get some a 4-digit pin. So what you need to do is, just you need to type the pin on the keypad of your mobile. So once you have entered, then they will confirm that that is your the phone number. So once you have done, then you can say that continue to select your support plan. So here what you need to do is, basically the support means the support of AWS, the support of Amazon Web Services. So if you need the support from the AWS, then you can go with either developer or business. That's what you need. So it's again, you can see that the developer is starting at $49 per month, and wherein business is around starting at $100 per month. So if you want to take the help from the AWS, so that they can help you out if you want to take any developer to the business. But for us at this point of time, we don't need any support, as we are going to learn all these things, so we don't need the support. So we want to be support from the other organizations or companies or the clients. So we'll go with the basic free. So it is free, then click on continue. So once you click on continue, then you're signing up for the AWS will complete. So once you have done, so I'm just in here. Okay, I'm just so basically once you're done, you will have this same symbol like welcome to Amazon Web Services. Then click on this launch management console. So once you click on this launch management console, again you will be came back here. So you need to just give the your email ID what you have used for signing up, and also you need to select this I am a returning user because you already created the account. So just specify your password. So what are the password you have created? Then click on sign in using your secure server. Now, so this is how actually you can sign up and log into the Amazon Web Services. So everything will be, you can see here, everything will be listed out. So if you have any doubts while creating, I don't think you'll get much doubts or much confusions because it's straightforward, nothing much to do it. So you just go through it. So this is how basically we can sign up for AWS. So in the last class we have discussed, like we have left with a topic called the, in the AWS introduction, we are left with the topic of the free tier or free type, whatever you call it as. So we'll just try to open that same so that we can go through the same back. So we can see here that the AWS free tier or free tier, whatever you call it. So we'll try to open this link. So what is this? So what is this free tier? So we'll try to understand what is it and all. So we'll try to go through the same link. Just go through the same link. I'm just clicking on it, or else you just, oh man, or you just search for AWS free tier. Let's search for it. Then the same URL will come. Just click on it. Then once you click on it, you will be welcomed with the landing page of the AWS free tier. So what does this free tier means? So the free tier means whoever created these personal accounts or the business accounts, so from the day they have created, they will have the 1 year of time for those, the 1 year, the gracious period is called as the free tier. So within the 1 year, once you have signed up, so let's say I have signed up for AWS in today, so till the same day of the next year, means 2017, the 4th June, so till this time, till the first year to 365 days, you will be under the free tier. So once you've completed this 1 year or the 12 months, so you can see that automatically expire. The free tier will automatically expire. Then you will be into the normal tier instead of the free tier. So what you need to do is, if you want to play around with it, if you want to just practice, create products or create services, how you want to just see, how you're actually working and how you're creating, how you're deleting, how you're resizing, all these things. So it needs, whatever we need, we will have the 12 months of time, so that you can have the plenty ample of time so that you can play around with it. So remember guys, only 12 months means 1 year of the, so mostly it's 12 months equal to 1 year, so that's what I'm telling. It's 1 year you will have the free tier. So in the free tier also, like you can see here, once you logged in, you are seeing, like you can see, like these are all the different services what they, like under compute you have some storage and content delivery, you have some databases, you have developer tools, management tools, you can see here management tools, and you can see it's security and identity, you can see it. So these are all the different services were there. If you can see the mobile, so I just clicked on it, so it's going somewhere. So just we'll go back, like you can see that mobile services you have some, and you can see the same thing like application services, you can see something. So these are all the different services available in Amazon Web Services at this point of time. So we'll discuss most of the services which were there in our course curriculum. So we'll try to discuss, then you can understand what it is, all these services and all. So think like this, these are all the different services or the applications which are again comes in the same, the deployment models which we have discussed, like software as a service or infrastructure as a service or the platform as a service. So everything will some services will fall into some category and some other services will fall into some of the different category. So we'll try to discuss while choosing and going through the same different services or the products. We'll try to see, is it a SaaS, PaaS or IaaS. So we'll try to discuss when we are discussing the each and every service or the product which Amazon is providing. So for these services, so we can see that Amazon EC2. So you will not understand what is this Amazon EC2 or maybe Amazon S3 or Amazon, you can see that Amazon or DS here. So just think like, as you know, it's a different services like Amazon IoT, EC2 container registry. So these are all the different services we can see. Amazon DynamoDB, Cognito. So these are all the like simple workflow service, simple queue service, Amazon Elastic Transcoder. So these are all the as I told you, as I shown you that these are all the different services like Amazon CloudWatch, code comment. So these are all the different services which are comes under the free tier limit. And also you can see, if you come to Amazon EC2 means Elastic Compute Cloud. We'll discuss in a better once we complete this free tier session. So you can see that Amazon EC2 means the VM, virtual machines in the cloud, means the actual servers which will create in the cloud. So that's called the Amazon EC2, means it's a Elastic Compute Cloud, means we will create the instances and run. So that's what this Amazon EC2, and in that you will have 750 hours per month. So 750 hours per month of Linux or Red Hat Linux or SUSE Linux, and that to the instance type of T2.micro. So we'll discuss what is this T2.micro and all in the next section, where we'll discuss the instance features and instance types and all. So at the time we'll discuss all these things. So at this point of time, just think like T2.micro is just a hardware specifications of an instance. So like how much RAM it should have, how much CPU cores it should have, and how much database, the hard disk it should have, and all the things. So these are all the things it's related to, like the hardware specifications. So we'll discuss a brief in the next session when we're discussing about the instance of the VM, the virtual machines features. And you can understand again, same fun, 50 hours per month of Windows T2 micro instances. So you can also use a Windows machine for 1 year without even paying a penny to the Amazon Web Services, and that too with Windows which having the key. So it's not like a trial Windows like a 3 months or maybe 1 month. It's not like this. It's a full Windows. Windows server. It might be 2008 or might be a 2012. So which server you want to create, you just create and play around with it. So this is how you can create. So you can see it. For example, run one instance for 1 month or 2 instances per half a month. So we'll try to. I think if you understand that, that's fine. If you're not able to understand, I will try to see an example, so that you can understand how what they have said is the 750 hours for Windows as well as the Linux. The same thing, that's whatever whatever they are saying is the same thing, like the 750 hours. We'll try to minimize this ribbon. Okay, so we'll try to understand what is how actually this hours, the 750 hours with them. So if you, let's say, think like the same thing, 24 hours a day, and you might have 30 days in a month or maybe 31 days in a month. So if you calculate that same thing, like 24 into 30, 24 into 30, you can say that 720 hours. And if you say the same thing like 24 into 31, you say that 744. So either here you can say that it might be, if it is a 30 days, you will have 720 hours a month. If you have 31 days, you have 744 hours. But still, this will be less than the 750 hours what actually Amazon or AWS is giving for an instance. So what it means, like you can create an instance and run throughout the month. That is what Amazon or AWS is giving. So you can basically create a public server which has the access to the internet, and from the internet you can access the server and you can use it for, and as I told you, it's a 12 months, like 1 year. So you can basically, if you want to launch an instance or a VM, so if you want to run for 1 year and it's free, say big free, so it's free, so it's free, you can run it, and it has this public IP, and like it's a it has some storage space as well, so that you can store your data, or you can store your application if you're having something like that. So you can basically run it for 1 year, but once you completed the 12-month, the grace period of the free trial, then you will be normally falls under the actual pricing model of the AWS. Then you don't have any free tier after the one year. So what you need to do is you need to basically pay to Amazon Web Services to use. Even also you can like think like, once you completed 1 year, so what you will do, you just delete this account whatever you created, then you can create a new account if you want. If you want to play around with it, then use that new account. You can then once you have created again, you will get the 1 year, so that you can create 1 year. But means like once you have done with it, you can also create a number of accounts, you can do it, but it should be like a different mail ID and a different phone number, so that they can validate it. So if you're specifying the same mail ID, means Amazon will maintain the users mail IDs and the users details databases, so that you can AWS will say that this email is already exist. So if you facing this error saying that you already have the email address or the existing account with the same email ID existed, so that you try to use a different account or create a new Gmail or maybe Live Outlook. So whatever mail ID, Yahoo mail ID, you just create a new one and try to access with it. So that's how you can do it. So this is, we all discussed about the one VM. Now the same thing which we have shown here, like we have seen an example saying that, so under the free tier we can see that, for example, run one instance for 1 month and 2 instances per half a month. Means we'll try to understand what is this in a bigger picture. So means, as we discussed, how many instances you run, it should not cross the 750 hours under the free tier. If it cross, what will happen, you will be falls under the actual normal pricing model of the AWS, the normal pricing model of the AWS. So we'll see this, what is the pricing model and all. So if you just see the 750 hours, so let's say if you run, so take an example of this month. So we have 30 days in this month. You can see that we have 30 days in a month. So if you run from 1 to 30 days, so it will be like 30 days in a month. So 30 days means you will have 720 hours, but still you will have the 3 hours left. So what you need to do, you can use another VM and you can maybe run for 1 or maybe 1.5 days, something like that, so that you will cover 750 hours. Let's say if you run 2 instances, let's say 2 instances means, as we discussed, let's say if you run it for 10 days, so 10 into 24 means 240 hours, and you're running the 2 instances means 240 for one instance and 240 for another instance. So after 10 days you will have like 480 hours completed, because you are using the 2 instances, and the same 2 instances, let's say you will use for 15 days. So 15 into 24, how you can get it, like, so we'll try to see it. 24 into 15, you can see the 360 hours. So 360 plus 360 means, as you are using the 2 instances, 360 into 2, you will get like 720. So 720, still you will have the another 3, so another 30 hours, the same like what we're doing. So if you run for another 1 day or maybe half a day, then you will complete your 750 hours. Maybe after 15.5 days you will complete your free tier limit, free tier uses. Then from starting of the 16th half day, then you will be chargeable as you are using the 2 instances. So what we need to make sure here is, so whatever the limit, so we need to first make sure that what is the limit we are using, utilizing it, and you should not cross to the 750 hours of the free tier limits of the AWS. So if you cross the same thing, you will get charged. So that's why you need to do it. So, and Amazon EC2, this is what it is. And if you go to the Amazon S3, so this is basically a storage solution. So we'll discuss briefly when we come into this particular feature. So it's called the 5 GB of standard storage. So you can store up to 5 GB of the data in AWS for free for 1 year. That's called the 12 months after sign up. So you can 20,000 get request means download. So you need to get the data from once you have uploaded. If you want to download or if you want to read the data, you just use 20,000 requests. And if you want to put, you need to use the 2000 put request, like 2000 files, something like that. You can use it within the free limit. If you cross the 20,000 download request or maybe 2000 upload request, then again the request for uploading and downloading will also cost, but it will be very nominal, very small amount of it. So you'll have this. So if you see that Amazon ODS, so you might heard of uh, the word called database. So where will all the companies or maybe organizations, the customers or everybody will maintain some database, some kind of a database. It might be users database or the customers database, clients database. So anything, what are the database or the product database, anything you call it as. It's a database means it's a storage. So in Amazon also we have a service which is specific to the database service, that's called the Amazon RDS. So we'll also discuss all these things in very brief so that you can understand how to, again, how to create the databases and what type of the databases we have and all. So we'll try to see, and in that also you can see that 750 hours of Amazon RDS will have, means we can create, again we can create an Amazon RDS instance, the same like a VM, for we can run for throughout the month. If you create a one, the 750 hours, if you created two instances, the same thing, you need to, you can use it for like 15.5 days, something like that. Then again after that, if you cross it, then what you need to do is you will be charged something. And also you can see that AWS IoT, like 250,000 messages you can be, you can see that all these links, you can see Amazon EC2 500 MB per month. So, and these are all the different tools like CentOS, it's a Linux server, and Git, it's a developing what you can revision tool, and WordPress, it's a CMS, a LAMP stack, and Bugzilla, it's again it's a tool which is related to the bugs for the developers. That's fine, Himmat Patel, that's fine. So you need to make sure that you need to rewatch the session on the LMS so that you can, whatever you have missed, you just need to get back to the things. So just Magento, it's a e-commerce application, open source application like Flipkart or Snapdeal. And you have Couchbase, App Dynamics, Sugar CRM. So these are all, CRM means customer relationship manage. So these are all the different services, and you can see here 0 per hour means these are all free for you. You can use it CentOS for free, you can use Git for free, you can use WordPress for free, you can use Magento for free. All this you can see that 0 per hour. So if you want to use all these applications, basically you don't need to pay to anyone. As why you don't need to pay anyone? Because all these things are open source. As you might heard of this word, open source means you can change the code of the particular product, and also you can use it for free without paying a penny to the anyone. Like if you want to buy MS Office, so what you need to do is you need to pay amount to the Microsoft, then you need to bought it. So once you bought it, you can use it. But open source is not like that. So you'll have all the applications, all the services from the open source. You just download and install, and you don't need to pay it. You can use it. So that's how actually this open source works. So that's what they are telling. So it's all the open source, you can do it. And also there is also other paid softwares are also available if you want to use it. So first UTM. UTM means it's a firewall, which normally you will find it in the organizations where they have this web filtering and all. So in the companies, what you will see that you will have, if you want to open a Facebook, you will be blocked. Or if you want to open Flipkart or Amazon.com, you will be blocked. Something like all the which is related like financial, banking, sales, pornography. So different things will be blocked because they are using some kind of a UTM device. So again, Sophos is kind of a UTM device. You can use this UTM device to put it in AWS so that you can apply the same firewall security for your instances as well. And you can see that New Relic, it's a monitoring tool, and WordPress, yes, again it's a business software, and SoftNAS, it's a NAS storage, OTRS, it's a ticketing tool, Magento, again we have seen that. So these are all the different paid softwares are also available. So if you want to use it, you just pay. So what you need to do is, it will be the payment, you don't need to pay anything, um, you know, to these services like Sophos or Softness or Gent, so you don't need to pay to them. So what you need to do is, you once you start using it, you will be paid for the same thing, like from 1 cent to the 6 pence on $2. So how much the rate for the particular hour, so how many hours you have used, so based on that, Amazon will bill the amount to you. As we seen in our previous sessions, that Amazon, the cloud is a utility service. So how much you used, how many hours you used, how many servers you used, or how many products you used, which are free or paid. So basically you will get the bill, like same like the power bill or electricity bill. So whatever the amount of you used, you just need to pay it. So Amazon will pay it to the Sophos, or maybe New Relic or OTRS. So you don't need to pay to anyone, you just need to use it. So but you will get the bill of what you have used, the same like utility service. So once you paid, AWS will pay the same amount to the others, like this too, so forth and all. So you don't need to do anything. So there is also AWS free tier non-expiring offers. So what is this non-expiring offers? You can see, by seeing it you can understand. So these free tier offers do not automatically expire at your end of your 12 months free tier time, and are available to all AWS customers. So this is means these are all the different services. Again, this will discuss what is this DynamoDB and all. So in the coming sections you can understand what it is. So as we discussed in the above, we have seen that EC2 S3 we have like 5 GB of storage for one year, and we have 750 hours per month for 1 month till 1 year we have seen. But here these are all the non-expiring offers. So what is the offer here we are mentioning? Well, it will not be expired, and you can use it until you have the account with AWS. But it's a terms and conditions apply, guys. You can read carefully. You can see 25 GB of storage, 25 units of read capacity, and 25 units of write capacity. So we'll discuss what is this read, writes, and storage. So think like just a storage. So DynamoDB has basically it's a NoSQL database. Again, it's a database. So you can use 25 GB of storage without paying a penny to the AWS or to anyone. And also you can see that a simple workflow service where you can use 1,000 workflow executions, and you can see that SQS like it's like 1 crore or some request of SQS, and you can use it for free for. But what you can see that, let's say if you can see that AWS Lambda, it's again you have some amount here. Okay, Dhruv, that's fine. So you can see all these things. You have like Amazon CloudWatch here. You can see that 10. That's fine. You can rewatch in the LMS, Dhruv. That's not a problem. Just I'm explaining through this the free tier. So if you want, you just go through it, or maybe after the class, or you just rewatch whatever you have, missed the class, so that you can understand. So you can see the CloudWatch is there, and you can also see the 5 GB of log data. Excuse me. Injection 5 GB of log data archive, 3 dashboards, and also these are all the different stuff. So again, you can see that this has a limit. So still you can use. There is no have didn't have any expiry like 1 year, but still you have a limit of 25 GB of storage for DynamoDB. So if you are using 26 GB, again you need to pay for the extra storage or extra capacity which you are using, which is not coming under this free tier model, a free tier model or the free tier. So if you're using 50 GB, then what you will be like, the 25 GB will be free, and remaining the 25 GB you need to pay for the AWS. So this will not expire. You can use it after the 12 months of AWS services. So this is what the non-expiring data. So again, you can see that as we discussed all the things like EC2, data transfer, and all. So you can see that. So these are all the different things, guys. So this is what the AWS free tier. So what is this free tier means? Basically you can use it for 1 year, and you have the terms and conditions as well. So what to use and what not to use. So mostly whatever the services which we are discussing in the course curriculum, most of things were free, but there is also some services which were not free, but I will give you the access to you guys. which I already paying for AWS. So I don't want you guys to pay to the same thing. So you can use it my account. So I will give you the access to as well to you guys as well. So that basically for the paid services there is called Route 53 actually DNS in cloud. So I'll give you that access so that you can basically sign in to my AWS account. Then you can use the Route 53 service. Basically you can play around with it, like how to configure all those things, the Route 53 and all. So we'll discuss when we come into the same section. So this was basically the free tier. So if you have any doubts, you just basically go to this free tier and see what is your actually the free tier model. So best use cases for using the free tier is, so when you're basically practicing it, when you're actually creating the instances, you might create one instance or maybe 5 instances, any instances, create that instances and practice for maybe 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours or maybe 5 hours. So once done, terminate it. Terminate the products or services which for you are using it. Once you completed it, just delete it so that you will not be cross the free tier limited or you will not be charged for it, so that you can use it the full use of the Amazon Web Services. So based on that you can use. And also guys, there you can see once you logged in, you can have this option like which you discuss the region. So select one region which you want to select. You want to select North Virginia in US or North California, Oregon, Ireland, Frankfurt, Tokyo, Seoul, Singapore, anything, any region. Select one region and stick to that region. Because why I'm telling you, so because you say these are services. What are the services here? Here we are seeing some more. Most of the services were region specific. So means, so let's say if you create a VM, means instance in a Singapore, that will not be available in North Virginia, because basically you are creating that server in a Singapore region, means a Singapore data center. So obviously that will not be available in the North Virginia or North California data center. So what you need, let's say if you logged into Singapore and you have created an instance but you haven't stopped, and when you logged in and in the second time and you went to some North Virginia, North California, and then you have created another server, then it will be there like 2 servers are running in the account. And also as we say that 2 servers you can only run for 15 days as per the free trial limits. So once you cross that, you need to pay to the AWS. So make sure that which region you're choosing, either you're using North Virginia, whatever region you want to choose, you can choose it. It's not like you're from India, so you basically you need to only use the which is nearer to you or something like that. It's not like that. So you can use any one instance, any one region, and you can create. So for us, basically most of the time I'll try to use the Singapore region because it's very near to us, so that you will not have that much latency and all, so you'll have low latency. So that's why I'll try to use the Singapore region. So I'll just create that. So if you just click on it, then you'll be in the Singapore region. So remember guys, stick to one region, so that you will have all the services or all the instances or maybe whatever the basically this compute or the storage cloud or anything, whatever the capabilities basically you are using, you will have the understanding of how much you are using, are you crossing or not. So this is what the free tier limit is. So once you have done it, then we'll go to, we have completed the sign up and we have seen the free tier limits. So how to basically we can do that. So we'll try to create an instance. Instance means as we discussed the VM. So instance means a VM. So we'll try to basically see how to actually create a server, how to actually create a virtual machine. Either we'll try using creating a Windows machine as well as a Linux machine. So once you created, how basically we can access the Linux machine, and as well as how basically we can access the Windows machine. So we'll try to see it. So first, before that creating, you need to create a key pair. So what is key pair means? So it's a key which you will create. So once you create it, you will be able to download, and you need to make sure that should be in a secure location, because without that key pair you will not be able to access to the server which you're creating. Like it's like a password kind of a thing. Same like think like if you forgot your password for laptop, so what you need to do is you will not be able to log in. You forgot your password for email ID, you will not be able to log in the same way. So there is no reset password kind of a thing, wherein here if you lost your key file or the key pair, then you can restore back. So there is no feature at this point of time available for AWS. So we'll see what to do when you lost a key pair and all, but make sure that once you create the key pair is just like a password. So instead of a password, you will have this key pair. So but the key pair, how it works is will different in Windows as well as in Linux. So we'll see how it works in Linux and how it works in actually in the Windows. So we'll see how it works, so that you can understand the difference between working with key pairs in Windows as well as in the Linux, so that you can understand and you can access it. So if you lost your key, as I told you, you will not be able to access. But if you lost, what you need to do is we'll try to discuss in the next classes. So just once you're logged in, once you've signed up, select your region. What are the region you want to select? So as I told you, I'm selecting the Singapore region, which is near to us. Then once you're done, so you can see here everything in the document is available, where to go and where to create and all. So it's everything is available. If you have a doubt, just go through it and try to create it. Just click on the EC2. So the first section, the core, the heart of the Amazon Web Services is called the EC2. You can see the tagline saying that virtual servers in the cloud, means VMs in the cloud. So that's what it's saying. So just click on the EC2. So once you click on the EC2, so you'll go to that EC2 page. So where you will have all the instances or the servers which if you have created. If you haven't created, you will have nothing. So what you need to do is you need to recreate that. So you can see that I have if you go to this instance, so you can see that this left pan, always this left pan, just drag, drop and up and down also you can do it. So these are all the different options which is available in the EC2. You can see EC2 dashboard, events, tags, reports, limits, instances, pod request, reserved instances, dedicated host, MIs. So we'll try to discuss all these things by one, what it is and how it works and all. So for this section, we're just going through with the instances section. Under instances, you just click the instances. So here what you will have the list of the instances, means the servers of it. So you can see yes, Charles, that's what we are that's why we are going with this creating key pair now first. So you can see here. So basically under the instances, what you'll have the list of the servers or the VMs what you have. So if you just come up down, you can see that. So under network and security, network and security, you have key pairs section. Just click on the key pair section. Okay, now you can see I have already had some keys. So what I will do, I will shift to another region where I don't have any key. So we'll go with Sydney. So I'll just click on it so that I will go to the Sydney region. So it will be like without anything. So I haven't created anything there. So it will be a fresh region. So without having anything, you can see nothing is there. You don't have any create. If you go to this issue to dashboard, you can see that 0 running, 0, 0, all 0, like except the security groups. We'll discuss all these things, but you can see all 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 here. Everything is 0. Just as I told you, just go to the key pair section, then create a key pair. Just click on the create a key pair. So give a name. What is the name you want? Either you want your name, or your pet name, or what is the name, or maybe Linux or Windows, something like that. Anything you want to create, so you just create. So I'm going with creating the Collabora. So then specify your name, just click on the create button, so it will create a key for you. Now I have created, and you can see that once it is created, a Windows a pop-up came up with asking to save the file. You just need to save it, save the file. Just choose, it's available to be save file, it will be chosen. Just click on OK to save the file. Now you can see that it is saved, and if you open that folder, you can see that the same thing from, you can see here like collabora.pem, so it will be the extension of pem. So like if you have in Windows, you will have .exe extensions. If you have in Linux, you see some .db or .db or .rpm, something kind of thing. So the same way, the keeper has the extension of pem. So that's what it is. So you need to, as I told you, you need to be yes, Vijender. So this is how. So we have created this file. So what it means, it's like a password. So what you need to do, so what we have did is we have just created a password, same like a, so think like a keeper is like a password. So now what you need to do is you just go to the instance section. So we have created the keeper first. So once you have done it, so once you're done, there in article everything is there, and there is put here, put agent. So we'll discuss all these things basically. So what it is and how to do it, we'll discuss. Now we'll try to create an instance. So our next section is the, once you're creating a keeper, then what you need to do is you need to creating an instance. So we'll try to close this PDF. We'll go to this PDF. We'll try to create an instance. As I told you, we are selecting and clicking under it, and then we are selecting instances tab here. You can see here the same thing, and then click on launch instance. So everything will be there, guys, on the documents. You just go through those documents so that you can understand. So I am under this instance section. So under instance, this section, yes, Himmat, all this I think I have checked with the support team. So they say that they will upload it. I think I'm not sure will they upload it or not, but they will be uploading it. So if they haven't, I think they will upload, or it's already uploaded. Just you need to log into LMS once the class is over. Then you can have this, all the documents will be uploaded to there. So you'll have all the access to these documents. No need to worry. So just launch an instance, or click on here or click on here, both the things, it will launch an instance, means launch a VM, the virtual server. Okay. Will work also in the servers as well, Mrudal. So we just go through it. I mean, you're just trying to be with the class so that you can understand better. So as I told you, just make a note of your question. So at the end of this session, we can have this question and answer session so that we can clear. Still, if you have the doubts, we can clear. So here you can see that I'm just selecting here. So you can see we have Amazon Linux, we have Red Hat Linux, we have SUSE Linux here. So you can see come down, you can see Ubuntu server, you can see Microsoft Windows server, you can see here, and you can see Microsoft Windows Server 2012 R2 with SQL, 2012 R2 with SQL Server Web, 2012 R2 with SQL Server Standard. So these are all the different servers actually. So what you need to, which server you need to use it. So 2012 with Server Web, Server Standard, and 2008 R2 Base. So these are all the different servers actually. So which one you want to launch? So first we'll try to go with this Linux. First we'll create the Linux instance. Then here you just go to this free tier eligible button. Make sure that it is selecting the free tier eligible option is available the instance. So we'll discuss all these things in the next classes. What is this, all these options and all, but you just make sure that this free tier option, what are the option, the what are the instance type we are selecting, it should be the same thing. So make sure it has, because if you select this, you're telling AWS that it's whatever the instance we are creating, that it's under the free tier limit. So that's what they are saying, that's what you are saying it. So as we discussed in the free tier limit, if you go up, you can see that the T2 micro instance we said, you can see the same thing like T2 micro instance here. So what is this T2 micro instance means? It has a one core of CPU and one memory, 1 GB of memory. So that's what it is. So you will have all the options, different options, different specifications. So we'll try to discuss all these things in the next classes, but at this point of time we don't need all these things. So we just go with the general purpose T2 micro, which has a option, the tag saying that free tier eligible. We'll just click on next, configure instance details. So don't think about this, don't think about this much about this, all these sections, all these things. So we'll discuss briefly in the next classes, but at this point of time just skip it, just skip all those things. What you need to do is just go with the default, just click on the next, add storage. You don't need to do anything here. Readd Ajay, I think sign out and sign in again, or maybe have you click this uh, unmute button, mute button or something like that, or you have any headset problem, just check yourself. So as I told you guys, if you missed anything, just once the session is over, the session will be recorded and uploaded to the LMS. So if you miss something, you can have the access to re-listen it, so how many times you want. So don't worry, if you lost something, don't worry, you'll have an option to re-listen and rewatch. So now just go with the defaults, just click on the next, add storage in this page. So here you can see that it has a space specification, so how much storage for a particular server which we are selecting. You can see the volume is root volume, means root volume means like C volume in Windows, the same drive in Windows. In C we have the operating system, the same way in Linux we have the root partition which has the operating system installed. So that's what it is. So one second guys. So we'll discuss in the later sections, Rahul, so that you can understand better. So if you try to tell me if you try to tell you guys what are those things, so we'll not be able to understand. So once you are going through all the sections of it, so that you can understand. So we'll discuss what is this in the next classes. So at this point of time we are skipping, we are going with the defaults, but when we come into the particular services, then I will try to see what is this and what is this, why what is this and how to change those things and all. So we'll try to discuss in the next class. So if I try to tell you also, you will not be able to understand, because you are at the starting of the AWS course, so we will not be able to understand. So I just want to why I ask you to choose defaults means, so you'll not able to have any confusions at this point of time. So once you have some experience, so when you are going with the different services, you can understand better. So basically what you need to understand is the size of your partition, means the size of your disk. So here it's saying 8 GB. Okay, here it's saying 8 GB. So you just go with the defaults again, you don't need to do it, just click on next tag instance, and then you can name it. Let's say okay, first instance, first AWS instance. You can name whatever, here is same thing, like you can name whatever the name you want to give in, you can give it. Then click on configure security group. So here again, just go with the defaults, don't try to do anything here, just click on review and launch. Then you can see that what are the settings you have specified till now. This is the review page, so just click on the launch. So basically if you want to change, you can also change here. If you want to security groups or instance details or storage limits, you can change here before finally committing it. So you can also have an option to change here. Basically you can review and change it. So if you're not reviewed, just click on launch to launch. Then you can see we have the option of selecting the key pair which we have created. So let's say if you didn't have any key pair, if you haven't created any key pair, so what will happen? So we'll also see, basically if you didn't have, you can also create a new key pair from here as well. So if you haven't created, you can also create a key pair from here as well. So what you need to do is you can create a new pair, click on create a new pair and enter the name, what is the name you want. It's like demo or something like that. Then click on download key pair, it will be downloaded, and then you can use that key pair like a, as you told, it's like a password for accessing it. So just, but I have already created, so you can also proceed without key pair, but so without password how will be able to log in? So that's what the problem. So they have given, because there's also other services which works using without key pairs, so we'll discuss later. So you can see that choose an existing key pair. I'm selecting the Collabora which I created, and I'm acknowledging that I have the access to the key pair which I'm selecting. Then click on launch instance. And if you can come down here, you can see view instances tab. So if you go to this view instances, then you can see that the instance which is in the creating, the first AWS instance, you can see it has some instance ID, the same like if you are in a class, you will have some your ID, the classroom student ID or something like that. The same way, each instance has an instance ID, so that it can have the unique ID. It's a unique ID across the AWS. And you can see the instance type as you selected T2 micro, and it is in the availability zone instance. So this will discuss later. So what is this availability zone and all, so we'll discuss later. You can see the status is running, so you can also refresh from here, this round symbol, refresh symbol. So once you've done it, you just use this to drag up. You can see the three dots here, you can see that. So you just drag up. So where we are dragging up here, so in, if you select that instance, I'm selecting here, it's not showing anything in the down, but if you select anything, you can see that all the things are there. So there is a description, there is a status checks, there is monitoring, there is tags. So we'll discuss all these things in the next section. So at this point of time, you just go with this description section. Here you can see the instance ID and what is the status, is it running or stopped or what. So at this point of time we are just created, so it's in the running stage. If you want to stop it, you can stop it. So once you stop it, the status will change to stop, and instance type you can say. And also it has a private IP, so we'll discuss what is this private IP and all in the next sections. You have all these things. So remaining all these things, just go with this public IP, copy this IP, public IP. So what are the copies? Just copy this public IP. So with this only you will need to connect to the instance as a server. If you come down, you can see this key pair name, the key pair name, so which you have selected the Collabora. So that's what it's saying. So the key pair name is Collabora. So from that you can also see what is the key pair of your server. Let's say you have a huge list of the servers, like 20 servers or maybe 30 servers, maybe 100 servers of it. So you didn't know that which server has which key pair. You might be having some same like 5 key pairs or 10 key pairs. So you don't know which key pair to for which server you have used. Or let's say your manager has created, or your team leader has created some servers. So you didn't know what is the key pair is used to launch that. So just select that instance, go to the description section. Under description section, you can see that key pair. You can see the what is the key pair for that particular server to log in, so that you can understand the key pair do you have or not. So if you don't have that key pair, what you need to do, you need to request to the team leader or the manager so that they will give the key pair. So for at this point of time, just take this public IP, you just copy. So now in the same document you can see that we have all these things. So we created everything, so everything is documented here, guys. You just see all these things I have created with a screenshot so that you can understand better. Now we'll go back to the previous example, sorry, previous slide, this creating a key pair. So if you come down, we have already created. So Elastic IP is a public IP, Charles. We'll discuss in the when we are discussing the IP addressing section. So we'll discuss, but Elastic IP is a public IP. That's it. So we'll discuss why they have mentioned it as Elastic IP. We'll see in the IP address section. So, but Elastic IP is a public IP. That's it. Okay, we have created. Now in the next page, what I need to do is you need to go to this link and download this putty and putty gen. So these two actually, the putty and the, which is circled in squared in red, you can download putty and putty gen. For, as I told you, it's for Linux, not for Windows, guys. So means if you are accessing the Linux instance, you can use this putty and putty gen files, which needs to access the these tools you need to access the Linux instance. Wherein if you are launching Windows instance, you don't need, but we'll see by creating a Windows instance and accessing it. So we have created just a Linux instance, so we are seeing how actually we can access. So next, once we access, we'll also see the how we can access the Windows instance. We just go to this URL, and then if you come down, then you need to download this putty.exe and as well as putty gen. Once you have clicked it, you will be able to download. So as I have already downloaded, you can see that putty and the page putty gen. So these are all already downloaded, so it's already there in my. So once you have downloaded, what you need to do is, so before using your server, open puttygen.exe. So open this puttygen.exe, just double click on it, it's a .exe file. So you just click on it. Now this is again, guys, we are accessing a Linux instance from the Windows. So you can see that I'm using a Windows instance here. It's a Windows laptop operating system. So this is like how we can access a Linux instance from a Windows. So this is how. So if you're accessing from a Linux instance and from Linux, that will be different. We'll see. So this point of time, downloaded, just open, then choose this to SSTU RSA. So it will normally be that only. So make sure that it has that. Then click on load. You can see that load is there. So just click on load, and if you go to the download section and go to the you can see that it has a ppk. So make sure select all files. By default it only search for ppk, so just click on all files so that you will have all the files. Then search with the name which you have created. So I have created like Collabora PEM. So this, select the PM file which you have downloaded, then click on open. Okay, it says successfully imported. Okay, click on OK, and then once you've imported, then save private key. Yes, here save private key. Are you sure want to save this key without a passphrase? Means passphrase means a password. So if you want again a password for this key pair, you want created, you can create, but we don't want to do it. Just click on yes, and again you need to name it the same, like I'm giving the same name like Collabora. Then you can see that the file name is extension is .ppk. So you need to give a name and then click on save. So once you click on save, then close this, and if you go to the same downloads folder, you can see that collabora.pem which I downloaded. Once you have created from the AWS console, it has been downloaded. That's a PM file, and we have converted the PM to ppk extension. You can see that ppk using a tool called puttygen. Puttygen means a putty generator. So why we have actually converted, what's the need of it? So basically this PEM file will only be understood within Linux. So as we have created in a Linux instance, so we are trying to access it. So this PM, whatever AWS has given, will not be able to understand by the Windows operating system. So that's why what we are doing, we have converted to ppk. So what is this ppk? Why we have converted means, as I told you, I asked you to download a putty. If you open this, so basically what you need to do is, you need to copy this IP, this public IP, copy the public IP, and then paste it here, specify here, and the to access the Linux, the port is 22 SSH. So if you already know Linux, it's fine. If you not know this first time you're knowing, just basically try to understand how you're basically accessing it. That's it. Don't try to understand much. So you can do the default port is 22. And if you come down to this SSS section, you just expand this SSS section and you just click on auth, and you have an option to private key file for authentication. So just click on browse here under the SSH under auth. So on click on auth, don't expand auth again, just click on the auth, then click on browse. So you need to specify the ppk file. So you can see here Collabora ppk. So don't, by default it has only an option to choose the ppk files. If you select all files, pem files, everything will be there. But if you specify pem file, as I told you, it's only detectable, understandable by the Linux. So if you use ppk, you will not be able to log into the Linux instance from the Windows instance. So you just click on this Collabora ppk, which you have recently just now converted, then click on open to connect it. It says an alert, okay, says okay, yes, then maximize it, then you give a name EC2-user. I'm giving a user. Now I'm able to log in. If you say that, you can basically execute some commands here. So you can go to some directories and all. You can basically, what you can do is, you can see here, you can execute all the Linux commands and all the things. So if you are from Linux background, you can understand what I'm doing, but if you're not, then forget about it. So now we see I have entered here EC2-user, the username is, but while creating the instance I haven't specified any username. So how basically did I found this? So let's say if you're, so I will exit, so I'll try to restart, create a duplicate session. So the same like what we are doing it. So if I say here, I have used my username as EC2-user. So EC2-user is a default username for the Amazon Linux instances. If you are using Ubuntu instances, the default is Ubuntu username is. If you are using CentOS instances, the default name is CentOS. If you are using a Red Hat instances, the default name is root. So if you know, that's fine. If you are not know what is a username, how to find? So you just in the place of the login as, specify the root. So if it is the username is root, you will be able to log in as you have already specified the key authentication, the key file. If it is not the root, you will give an option. Here you can see, please log in as the user EC2-user rather than the root. So what is saying? It's clearly saying that the username is EC2-user. So we'll try to see again. Oh, sorry. We'll try to copy it again. It has already closed. So we'll try to copy, and same thing. We'll go to the SSS section, click on auth, don't expand as I told you. Then click on your this Collabora and then click on open. Then you can see, as I told you, if you don't know, just give a root name so that it will give you the actual username. So EC2-user, you can see that. Then click on duplicate section so that it will recreate the exact same thing like with IP and PPK. Then you can specify the here like EC2-user. So you will be able to log in. So if you try to check ping google.com, so you can see that we have the google.com access. So that means you have the internet access as well. So if you want to update like yum update, something like that, so you can basically, what you need to do is you need to, so it's saying you need to root. As I'm switching to root, means like administrator in Windows. Is what I'm doing. Click on update, yum update. So this is what it is. So now I will exit from here. So now we'll try to see how to create a Windows instance and as well as how to access the Windows instance. Now we have seen all these things like creating, converting PEM file to PPK and using PuTTY to access the server. But now we'll try to create a Windows instance and we'll try to access it. But it's already at 10:20 guys, so we'll take a 15 minutes break So it's 10:20, so we'll come back at 10:35. So when we completed our break and when we come back, we'll see how to create the Windows instance and how to access to the Windows machine. So this is it, guys. So have a break and we'll come back after 15 minutes. Thank you, guys. Welcome guys, welcome back from the break. Hope you guys have completed your break. So can you confirm the same thing from through chat, guys? You are available. Yes, can someone confirm? Okay, thank you guys, thank you. Okay, now as we've seen here, okay, we'll try to copy the same public IP and we'll try to open the same thing once. I will try to show something. We are selecting here your IP address what we are trying to connect, and we are using the PPK what we are doing, and we are selecting open. And here, yes, we are giving you the username here. I'm giving the username here, guys. See here, username. I'm not giving any password here. I'm just giving the username. So without even giving the password, you're directly logging into a server. You're accessing a server. Excuse me, guys. I'm getting a call. Oh, sorry, guys. Okay. Chalo, we are seeing here we are just only lagging in as, and we are only selecting the specifying the username here, and we are not specifying any password, and also it is also not asking for a prompting for the password. Why? Because we are, while connecting to the instance in the putty, what we have did, we have selected the, we have pasted the username and the password, sorry, the IP address whatever we have seen, and then so in the authentication we are selecting the this PPK, which is converted from pen. So this file is now working as a password. So that's why we are able to access without the password. So now we have seen how to access the Linux instance. Now we'll try to create a Windows instance. So we'll try to go with the launch instance. Same thing. Go to the instance page, click on launch. Then if you just drop down, if you can come down here, okay, we can say here select again, you can say here free tier eligible, just select that one only. Or you have also another option here, like you can also check an option here, which if you check this, only the free tier available uh, operating system will come. So if you want Windows, just select like that. Also you can do it if you are not sure, or basically you can check from the, so which previously we have used in this Amazon Linux, which have the tag free tier eligible, right? So the same thing, you just go down and click on the, I'm selecting also the free tier eligible and then selecting it, and again go with the defaults free tier eligible as well, configured instance details, and go with the defaults at this point of time. So we don't want to discuss this at this point of time. So now go with the same, like the, so it's a root partition. Root partition means in the Windows is C with a 30 GB of size, and just with the tag instance we'll say that okay, my first, we'll name it as my first Windows instance. So what are the name you want to give it, you don't do it. I'm just giving my first Windows. And security group, the same thing, don't do anything at this point of time, just go with it. We'll discuss next what is this and all. Review and launch, and as I told you, it's a review option, review page. If you want to change something, you can change it. So but I don't want to change anything at this point of time, just click on launch. Once you click on launch, same, it's asking for the password, or you can go with the create a new keeper. If you want to create a new keeper, you can also create a new keeper from here. So I don't want to do that because I already have the create, and just click on the collaborate key here, which we have, and just click on launch instance. So if you just come down to this page and you can see, click on view instances, you can see the instance which is creating. You can see pending, the status is, and my first Windows instance, it is in the creating stage. So it will take as it just 1 to 2 minutes. Within 1 to 2 minutes, it will not take more than 1 minute. So you can see it's running now. So just click on that instance and just go to the same description page. You can see that you can have the same public IP to access that server, and then you can see that yes, we can use a single key pair to n number of instances. Ratnam, we can do it. We can use a single key pair to n number of instances, any number of instances we want. So now we can see that I have selected my Windows instance which I created, and as in the description section you can see the platform, and the platform says Windows because we have created the Windows operating system. Now it's saying the Windows, and you can see the same key pair name Collabora which we have used, it's saying same thing. So now you try to click on this Linux instance which you have created. If you come down, if you try to see the platform, you can see the platform is there, but it doesn't have any operating system or the platform is associated with it because it's a Linux instance, so it's not saying anything. So if you think like it didn't have any platform means it's a Linux instance. If we have the platform means it's a Windows instance, and you can see that. So now we have seen that's fine, we have created. So now how to access this? So now for accessing the Linux from the Windows, we have downloaded Putty, and then from Putty we have accessed. So now how access we need? So what you need to do is you need to RDP into it. RDP means remote desktop. So you can access the RDP in remote desktop. For that, just choose run, means Windows R key, then click on mstsc. This is the command you need to run, mstsc. Under the run, press Windows R, then type mstsc, then choose enter. Then you will have, then what you need to do is you need to enter the IP here. You just copy paste here, or you need to manually enter here. Either way you can do it. You can see that okay, I have mentioned the same 5260. Then click on connect. Then you will be asked for the username and the password. So now at this point of time I don't want to connect. So this is how you can connect, but see, we'll try to see some other things which actually do it. So once you have created, then choose your Windows instance and click on actions. Then under the actions you have an option to get Windows password. Then click on get Windows password. Okay, browse the key pair. The key name is Collabora, we know that. Browse the key pair and go to the download section and select your key pair collabora.pem. Here you need to select not ppk, it's a pem. Select the pem file which you have downloaded, then decrypt password. What you are doing, it's saying the Collabora key name is because we have chosen that one, and browse that collabora.pem which downloaded from the AWS console, and then decrypt password. And you can see that this is the IP or the DNS which you connect, and the username is administrator and the password is this one. You just copy this password and then go here, same thing, click on here, and sorry, just need to 52.63.96.117.7. so this is what the IP is. And now what I'm doing is the username is administrator and the password I copied. Now just click on OK to access. Okay, it's asking me to confirmation. Okay, click on yes to confirm. Yes, now you see that we are able to access. Wait for some time, it will come. It's creating. it's setting up your administrator user account profile on the Windows. You can see it's still coming, it's taking some time. It's fine. Yes, now it's came up. We are able to access. Now you can see that it's saying Windows Server 2012. So whatever the operating system we have chosen in the version Windows Server 2012 R2. This is the what the version is. And you can also see the names here, the different details. You can the host name of this particular instance and instance ID and public IP address. You can see 52.63.96.1, and we have private IP address. And we'll discuss all these things like in the next section. So just if you go open this file folder, and you can see that if you maximize it, you can see that it has the 29.6, means the 30 GB of C drive. Now you can see under scene like users, Windows, program files, all the things are there. The same like the Windows instance. So now what we have did. So for accessing a Linux instance, what we did, we just, if you go to the Linux instance, we just go to that and copy that IP address, and we just use the putagent to convert the PEM file to PPK and use putty to connect to it. But for Windows, you don't need to use any tools. We just use the default RDP mstsc command to connect to it. And for here in Linux, if you remember, we didn't specify any password. We just use the PPK file which we converted from the PEM file to log into it. But here Windows is different. The authentication or the login will be some part different from the Linux. Now if you can see, that's why we have an option to get Windows password. So once again I'm clicking the Windows password and I'm selecting Collabora PEM file, guys, not PPK file. So PPK file is only for putty and only to access the Linux instance. So I'm decrypt the password. So you are getting a password of this. So this is a default password which is created and generated by AWS. So that's why we have logged in. Now if we can also have the option to change the password. So basically you need to go to the users and you can change the administrator password. So once you have changed the password will be here. This will be the same. It will not change the password which you have reset. So you can reset the password what you want to reset, but here it will show this one only. So if you changed, don't go with this get Windows password. So if you haven't changed, only then go to this password and try to access this get Windows password. So if you haven't changed, so for the first time you want to have the password, so what it will do, AWS will create a password for you, and to get that password we'll use this get Windows password and use the PEM file to get the password. So wherein if you see the Linux, if you go to the actions, we don't have this get Windows password is available. If I'm trying to click also, this is not working. Why? Means it's not a Windows instance. So just click on connect, you can see. So you can have the option. So let's say we have discussed like how to access Windows instance, how to access Linux instance from the Windows. Now let's say you already have a Linux instance. How actually we can access the Linux instance? So what you need to do is, as you told, we have downloaded that collaborate.pm. So in Linux we need to change mode. So we need to change mode of, so we don't need to give 400. So if you are from Linux background, you can understand this. So if you are not from Linux background, don't try to understand this, you will not be able to understand. So what I'm trying to tell you is, I'm changing the modes 400 to collaborate.pm. So means only the owner can have the read access, others will not have any access. So what you need to do is, you can SSH, the command is SSH and -i, you need to mention the PEM file, not the ppk file guys, as I told you, it's a pem file. So you can see that you need to mention -i and the pem file. Then you need to give the username which you are going to connect, ec2-user in that case, and then you need to give the either the DNS or the public IP. So this way you can connect from the Linux instance to the Linux. So this is how basically you can create and we can access the instances. So this is how we can normally basically do it. If you go to that creating instances page, PDF file, you can go through it. So this is how you will have all the things guys. So I have mentioned how to create an instance and all. So just go through it and try to create instances. So this is how basically you can create instances. Now how to delete the instance or how to stop the instance. Now you can see here we have let's say try to click on Linux instance and go to the same actions. So here we have some different options here there. So at this point of time we don't want to discuss all these things, but we'll discuss in the next section. But at this point of time, just go to the instance state. So under the instance state, you have an option to stop, start, reboot, or terminate. Terminate means delete. Means you're deleting your instance. If you reboot means the instance will reboot. That means restart. If you stop, it will stop. So we'll try to stop it first. We'll try to see. So just click on stop and it is asking for the confirmation. Yes. Stop it. There you can see that it is stopping. Just wait for some more time so that it will come as stop. Okay, it is stopped now. So again, if you select the same thing and go to the actions, you have an option to start the instance or terminate the instance. So let's say if you start it, it will start. Now we'll try to terminate. How to basically, so I'm selecting the Windows instance and going to the actions and going to the instance state and then click on terminate. So it's asking for the confirmation you want to terminate. Yes, click on terminate. So this is how basically you can terminate the instance. You can see that it's shutting down. So once it is shutting down, it will be terminated. So take some time guys to terminate. Terminate means delete from your account. So delete from there. So basically while deleting, make sure that you don't have any data which is you require or your company or organization which is required. So if you delete your instance means all the data, everything will be deleted. So you don't have an option to again revert back. Once you're terminated, done, it is deleted. So you don't have an option to recover or something like that. So make sure while deleting itself, if you have a data backup, upload to somewhere and make sure that you have the backup and everything, then delete it. And you can see that instance state for Windows instance been terminated. So terminated means it is deleted. So still it's for some 1 to 2 hours it will be there in your account that your instance is in terminated state. So it will be there, but after 1 to 2 hours it will be gone again. I will try to tell you in the IP addressing scheme section, Charles, where we will discuss the public IP and the elastic IP. So where you can discuss, so that I can see, you can understand. So if I try to tell you, you can also understand, but okay, I will try to show you a better understanding so that for your reference. So let's go and start again. I'm starting the Linux instance now. No himmat, once we terminated means it is you have done, deleted. Just okay, if you go to the section, if you go to the actions, you can see that everything is disabled, everything is blurred. You don't have an option to do anything here. You don't have an options, you can't connect it, anything you say, you can't do anything. So if you want to take it backup, first you take the backup or image Mrudul, then only you can terminate it. So first you take the all the backups, then delete it. That's how. So we'll try to see the what is the difference between. We'll see in the next sections, Mrudul, so that you can understand. So that we'll go one by one, step by step, so that you can understand better. So don't try to understand it at one go. So we'll understand one by one, so that you can. So I think it's a problem with you, Himmat. Uh, can you check from your end? 1 second. Are you able to hear me, guys? I think Himmat, one guy is not able to hear me. Thanks, Mudil. Thanks for the confirmation. All are able to hear Himmat. Just check from your end. Check your audio settings, or maybe there is someone settings, maybe internet or any settings. Try to check it out. How you muted or something like that. Okay. So now we'll try to see the thing like what is the difference between Elastic API and the public API. So as I told you, those are the public APIs. Those two are the public APIs. So if you're not familiar with what is in a public API, what is in a private API and all, we'll discuss in the IP address section. Check from your end, Dhruv. I think others are able to hear. Just check from your end only. So all are able to hear, guys. So just make sure we are able to hear. Okay. Others were able to hear, guys. The other guys, can you confirm? Because I think Dhruv is also facing the same issue. Can someone confirm that? Are you able to hear? Thanks, Vijender. Oh, thanks, Rahul. Thanks you, Ajay. Thanks, Smita. I think everybody is listening, you guys. You just check. Check Dhruv and check Himmat. I mean, who is access, who is has some issues and all. Okay, guys, are you able to hear Dhruv and Himmat, so that we can start the. Okay. Uh, we'll discuss, Smita, but when you stop an instance, the hours will not be count. When you're running the instance only, it will be the count of the hours. So when you stopped, it will not count, you will not be charged. But again, there is an option, but the storage which is allocated will be charged, because you are already using that storage, but if server is not running, VM is not running, but storage is with your account only, so you'll be charged for the storage. But here for free tier account, we have an option to use 30 GB per month. We can use 30 GB, as we can see that our Windows instance is 30 GB and we can use it, and also our Linux is it just around 8 GB, so we can use it. If you stop it also, that's fine. But in normal scenario, if you stop it, the server will not be charged, but the storage will be charged. So that's how it is. So we'll try to see the difference between elastic IP and public IP. Now it's in stop state, we don't have any elastic IP or the public IP. Here you can see that elastic IP or public IP, there is nothing here, you can see that. Check your settings, Himmat. Check your settings properly, Himmat. Have you muted yourself? I mean, is it a headset or headphone? Whatever you're using, is that fine? Try to remove your headphone and try to reattach it. Okay guys, now we'll try to see the difference between the elastic IP and the public IP. So if you're not familiar with any IP addressing scheme, don't worry guys, we'll discussing the IP addressing scheme. There is a specific session for IP addresses, but you can see that we don't have any public IP or the elastic IP at this point of time. So we'll try to start this session. So sorry, start this VM. If you start it, yes, click on start. Let's refresh. Yes, we now have the option IP 52.62.178.160. Just copy this and okay, this is the IP we got, 52.62 and 178 for this Linux machine. Okay, we have noted down the IP. Now we'll go to the instance and now we'll try to stop it. We'll try to stop the instance. We have started and we are stopping it. Okay, now we have stopped. So now before stopping it, Himmat, I think it's chargeable, it seems, because you're trying to connect from your phone. So I think it is chargeable. So I think it's chargeable. It's not like toll-free kind of a thing, Himmat. I think it's chargeable. So you can see here, okay, we have stopped. So before stopping, we have took the IP address of it. One second, guys. Himmat, from here I can see you that I think you haven't. Or open any YouTube or something like that. Try to see if the your headset or headphone is working or not. Uh, no, Ajay. Actually, I'm not seeing it. I think Himmat, one of the participant, is facing problems, so I'm just checking with him. Try to check from YouTube or something. Okay, YouTube is perfect. Uh, Check your audio settings, Himmat. So there is nothing to do from WebEx, guys. I think. See under audio settings, Himmat, you'll have some choose mic and speakers. Then, uh, so are you able to choose or not that your headset or headphone, whatever you're trying to use it? Just say it out. Okay, guys. Okay, thanks for confirmation, Himmat. Thank you. So you can see that now we have started our instance and we got some IP 52.62 178.163 that we have saved here. Now we have stopped. Now what I'm trying to here now, I'm trying to start again. Yes, confirm the start of the instance. I think it will not be toll free, Himmat. I think it will be charged because you are calling to some number. I think I'm not exactly sure, but it should not be the toll free. You can check with the support team actually for the exact confirmation, but it should not be. I think, as I know, it should not be a toll free. That's what I know. I think. Oh, I will try to stop it, guys. I think it got the same IP. 1 second. I'll try to stop it again. I'm stopping it. Okay, we'll try to start again. I'm just starting that instance, guys. Okay. Now it's running straight. You can see here the IP here 52.63.84.101. I just copy it and we'll go to this file here and you can see. So previously it was 52.62.178.163. Now when I stop and start it, 52.63.84.101. So what is, you can see those two IPs were different, right? So here, so when you reboot your instance, means when you restart your instance, the IP will not change, the public IP will not change. But when you stop and start your instance, the IP will change. So in that case, let's think like you have a server, a production server. If you start and stop it, so every time you start and stop it, the IPs will change. So let's say you have a bunch of IPs and you have given to the some team, some system admin team or maybe developers team, they are using IP address to connect to the instances. But when you do some updates or when you do some things, when you stop and start it, every time it will change, the IP address will change. So that's what the problem here. So what you need to do to the IP should not change. So then the elastic IP will come into the picture. So elastic IP and public IP both the same, both are public IPs, but when you are using the public IP, if you start and stop the instance, the IP will change. But now we'll try to go to the left pan, from the left pan under network and security, go to the elastic IP section. So here the elastic IP section, I just click on allocate a new address. Yes, allocate. And now you can see that we have an address Bro, I think you have some issue with your headset or your laptop or whatever it may be. So try to check from your end. So I think nothing is changed from here. I think all the guys are able to hear perfectly. So you just see that it's just close. You can see that 52, 60, 119, 112 we have created. So elastic IP means we can secure audio settings. Dhruv. So under audio you'll have mic and speaker settings. Choose check that which are you using the audio, which device are you using? Are you using microphone? So, uh, you might have network issues, so that's why it's showing. I think you're getting some network discrepancies or maybe disturbances through. So that is why basically I think you're getting it. So maybe you're having some slow connection or maybe something like this. So try to check it from your ISP or who is actually you're getting from. So I think it's a network issue. It's not an issue with GoToMeeting or something like this, I think. So now you can see we have allocated an IP address. So this is called the elastic IP. So so now we have an elastic IP and we have created. Now select that IP and go to actions, and you can have an option to associate address. In the instance tab, you can see that we have the only one instance running. You can associate with the IP with this instance. Now you can see, just click on associate. Now associated. Now you can see, go to the instances. If you go to the instances and if you can just click on here, and you can see that IP whatever you have created, the elastic IPs which you have created and associated 52.69.119.112 has been here updated, and you can see that it has the elastic IP is assigned to it. So the difference between the elastic IP and public IP means the public IP, if you are using by default, when you create an instance, AWS will give you a public IP, but when you start and stop the IP, the public IP will change. So if you don't want to change the public IP addresses with attached to your instance, what you need to do is you need to go to the elastic IP, create an elastic IP, then associate it with this instance. Now we'll try to, now the IP which I have created like 52.69, 52.62.119.112. Now we'll try to save this for understanding. So this is the elastic IP. Now we'll say it as elastic IP. No Charles, it's not like as if you are using for only one server, as we discussed, one server is free. So one IP is free for till 1 year, but if you are using two IPs, means one IP for 750 hours, as I told you, one IP for 750 hours. If you are using two IPs, then it is the same thing, like 15 days you'll be free, but again you'll be charged. So one IP is free for 1 year, then after that it will be charged. The same like how you are charging for the EC2 instance, the same thing. I think very normal. I think very normal the fees also. It's not like very high end or something like this. and you can, now we have seen that, we'll try to stop it. We'll try to stop it and again start it. So the IP should not change. That's what the elastic IP will try to see. And now stopping it. So stop date. Take some time, guys. We'll wait till it stops. Okay, it is stopped now. We'll try to start again. Now you can see that the instance is in the stop state, but still the public IP or the elastic IP will not go. It is still attached with the instance. But wherein if you are using the default public IP, when you stop that instance, the IP will gone from your instance. So it will not be any more attached to, no more attached to your instance. Now we'll try to start it again. And yes, start. Click on yes, start. It will start. Now it's in the running state. If you reload, the page, if you want to reload the page also and reload anything, then you can able to see that the IP will not change. Then click on your instance, then you can see the same IP is there. We'll try to copy it, this one, Control C I pressed. We'll try to Control V, and you can see that the same IP 52.69.119.112 and same thing 52.62.119.112. So the IP is not changed. So that is the difference between the elastic IP and the public IP. Now we have seen how to create instance and how to stop and start the instance. Now that's fine. I will try to see another. We'll try to see the another topic called security groups. So we'll try to understand this. What is a security groups and all. So while creating the instance, so we'll try to see. Okay. I will try to this. I will try to terminate this. So we'll try to. I will try to terminate this. So I'm terminating it. So we'll try to create a new instance again. So I'll try to click on launch instance. So I'm again selecting some Linux instance here. I'm selecting, going with configuring instance, going with all the defaults here. Vijinder will discuss all this private IP, what is private IP and what is public IP and all. We'll discuss in the when we come into the IP addressing scheme. We'll discuss all this which is related to IP addressing. We'll discuss there what is public and what is IP addresses. But private IP means which is not routable throughout the internet. So means if you are using the private IP, you will be able to connect within the LAN, within the local area network. So if you are using if any server or any instance which is having the private IP, you will not be able to connect. One second, guessing, I think a lot of guys are facing the problem with audio and all. It will have the all the session Himmat, like everything, audio and video both will be available. So if you miss something, you can basically go to the LMS and do it. I think check with the team. I think Himmat, check with the team if you want you check with the team, technical team or support team. So who are actually checking with, maybe Raj or someone. So you have any other options or something like that, you can check with him. But you'll have all the recording will be done. So within that recording, everything will be there, video and audio. If you miss something, you can, as I told you, you can go and watch it. Now we can give some name. So we'll try to see, give some name as, okay, second instance. We'll name it as, yes, Narsimha. So if you created an Elastic API and associate that Elastic API to the instance, means that both public and Elastic API are the same. But if you haven't created any Elastic API, then that is the only public API, not the Elastic API. So, but if you have created an Elastic API and attached to it, so it's show in the console as both public API as well as in the Elastic API, because Elastic API is itself a public API. That's why it shows. Yes, true. Whatever you're saying is correct. So we'll say that, okay, we'll say it as second instance, and in it as second instance because we are creating a second. Now, no, Vijender, we can't do that. So whatever the IP we are getting from the AWS, that is only we can do it. We can't assign our own IP. That will not be possible. So we are named as seconding IP. Then we are going with the configuring security group. Let's create it, security group. Now what we are, till we did it here, we just going with the defaults and click on review and launch. But now we'll see what is a security group and how to create a new one and how to play around with it. So we'll try to see. So 1 second guys, I'm getting a call. 1 second. Himmat, as I already told, it might not be a toll free. It should be, I think, chargeable. You check with team. That's better option, I think. I don't think it will be free, Himmat, as I know. That's what I think. Okay, guys. 1 second, guys. Just for 2 minutes, I will come back. Okay guys, thanks for waiting. So now we'll try to see what is security group, and we'll try to see how to create. So till this time what we have did, we have just going with the defaults and review and click on review launch. But now we'll try to see what is this. So we'll try to see first what is actually uh, a security group. So we'll try to see the definition which is from AWS. A security group acts as a virtual firewall. So it acts as a firewall that controls the traffic for one or more instances. So you can, security group is like a firewall that controls the traffic, either inbound traffic or the outbound traffic. Means the traffic is coming from to your instance and the traffic is going from your instance. So when you launch an instance, you associate one or more security groups with that instance. So you have an option, you can create one instance or 10, sorry, you can create, while you're creating instance, you can choose one security group or maybe two security group or 4 5 or something like that. So you add rules to each security group. So you can basically add some rules. We'll try to see what is the rules and all that allow traffic to your instance or from your instance. So basically we'll try to see within a pictorial representation so that you can understand better. So we'll try to see, let's say this is your instance. Okay, this is your instance which is created on AWS. So think like this is a security group. Security group. So it will work as a firewall. So what is the traffic is incoming and as well as what is the traffic is outgoing. So it will basically work like a firewall, and it will check your incoming as well as an outgoing traffic. So basically what is coming in, what is going. So you have an option to choose what to come and from where IP should it come, so which IP addresses should it come, and to which protocol and which port it should come, and which port should be. So whatever, you can say that you can enable the ports only you need, and you can enable the IP addresses from only source IP addresses. Let's say think like A user and B user is there. So he's an A user and he's B user. Let's say check. Are you able to hear him? Hear you guys now? Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks for your confirmation. Uh, okay, guys. Thanks for your confirmation. One second. Give me 1 second. Okay guys, now we'll try to see. So I hope you guys are all here able to hear. Fine, thanks for the confirmation guys. So we'll try to see the same example what we are actually discussing. So there is an instance what we have, and this is the security group which we have created, and now somebody is kind. Yes Mrudul, I am there. Okay, thanks Mrudul, thanks for your confirmation. Now okay, see, so one guy is trying to access from an IP 1.2.3.4, and one guy is try to access from 1.2.3.5, let's say. So these are all the two different IP, means two different locations. Let's say he's trying to access from Mumbai and he's trying to access from Hyderabad, let's say. So A is sitting in Mumbai and B is sitting in Hyderabad. He's trying to access an AWS instance which is in Singapore. And for A is public IP is 1.2.3.4, for B public IP is 1.2.3.5. So we can basically create some roles wherein if any traffic is coming from 1.2.3.4, like allow all traffic, or maybe allow on only port 22, or maybe allow on port only RDP, allow on port HTTP like 80 port, something. Or you can also say like, you can also specify like don't allow, like sorry, not don't allow, allow only 80 access. So allow access to only 80 port from IP 1.2.3.5, saying that this guy can access SSH, or this guy can access 80 port HTTP, this guy can access RDP, but this guy can only access 80 port, something like that you can define. So means who can access what, and who can access what, and as well as from where. So basically if I try to see here, if you try to go through Google and you'll try to see what is my IP address, let's say what is my IP address, you can say that my IP address is like 183.82.218.236. The same way you can also find your IP address as well, but it's an IP address of your ISP, means who is the provider of your internet connection, who is actually providing it. So this is the public IP of those guys, means I am using a connection from some vendor, so this is the IP related to your vendor. So this is the IP which you got, so this is the public IP you are trying to connect. So all the traffic what you are doing, sir, you're opening Facebook or you're opening Google, so whatever you're doing from your laptop or desktop, so the traffic will go out from this IPs like this. So the same way here we have 1 2 3 4 IP address and 1 2 3 5 IP address. For this example, I have given two different IP addresses, and we can see we can create some roles. So we'll try to see how actually we can create the roles. So we'll create a new security group and we'll say it as, let's say, demo SG security group. The same we'll try to add some description as well, demo security group. Okay, now we can see in the roles, you can see SSH is already there and protocol is TCP and the port is 22 because SSH works on port 22, so that's why it says port 22. And you can see source, you can either say custom IP, like if you say what is my IP is, my IP is like 183.82.218.236. I can copy and paste it here. Okay, like 236, okay, /32 you need to mention, that's what. So this is what custom IP. You can also mention your IP, and let's say you can also mention another role with SSH, same SSH, saying that okay, from IP, let's say custom IP, like let's say 25.25.25.25/32. So we'll discuss what is this 32/32 and all in the next sections when we discuss the IP addressing section, but we'll try to understand now. This is how it is. So we can or else you can anywhere means 0000 means you can access from anywhere, means it's open to the public, anyone can from anywhere can access. If you want to say only my IP means it will only give you the IP which already here you can see that the same IP which has been populated. So this is how we can. Now we have selected SSH. We'll try to add another role and we'll try to say HTTP. Let's say HTTP, and you can see the port protocol TCP and port is 80. And you can also see the same thing like my IP and you can see custom IP. You can specify and you can say that from anywhere you can try to see, or you can only say that my IP. We'll try to see it. So you can also do the things like that. So this is how basically what you're doing. So we are accessing. So we'll try to delete this for easy understanding. You can see I'm accessing let's say okay my IP only. So I'm accessing SSH from my IP and HTTP from anywhere. Now we'll try to save this. Now we'll try to review and launch. Now click on launch. We'll say Collabora and we'll click on launch. We'll try to use the instance. So okay, we'll try to log into this instance. We'll try to get this IP copied and we'll try to open a session. Try to browse the key collabora.ppk and open. Now I'm installing HTTP package in Linux. And I'll try to start this HTTP service, means a web service. Okay. I'm making sure that HTTP should run on reboot. So now that's fine. Now we have created an instance, we have launched an instance. I have installed that Apache service. So we'll try to access. If I try to copy and access from a web, sorry. Now you can see that Amazon Linux AMI test page. We are able to see the web page. So because I have installed the Apache, means web server, and also in the security group you can just you can have the security group. So you can see how many security groups you have attached here. You can see that and just click on link to so that you can see the settings. So once you created the setting groups or security group, you can also edit and modify at any point of time. You can see select your security group inbound and outbound, and you can create tags. Tags means name. So we'll basically deal with inbound. So this is the inbound and this is the outbound. By default, outbound will be all traffic from all protocol to all port range is allowed. So outbound is all open, means from your instance you can connect to any other instance or any other traffic or any system, any website, anything or any port. But here you can see that inbound you can make changes. So you can also add rules or you can delete rules or something like that, you can do it. Now you can see that we have an HTTP rule and saying we can access from anywhere, and that's why we are able to access. We'll try to open a proxy. Okay, proxy site. We'll try to open a proxy site. So you can select, okay, you can select from which server. So we'll try to select a US server and we'll try to access the same. Go. Click on go. I'm trying to access the IP, the server which I did. what has happened? We'll try to check it out once. So we'll try to see another proxy server. I think it's not working from here. Thanks, Charles. You can able to see it. So because I said, if you try to access the same IP as well, you can see it because I said anywhere. So you can, from anywhere, you can access this page. We can, let's say, okay, remove this and we'll try to paste it and serve. And you can see that the same thing has been loaded here. Are able to see the same page. You can see, means anywhere I can access. Now we'll try to see. I will try to I will remove anywhere. I will only say my IP. So we'll try to see HTTP my IP only. I will try to say quick and safe. Means it's saying only HTTP also can only be accessed from my IP, and we'll try to see. So will I able to access or not? We'll try to refresh. So I'm able to access. I'm refreshing it so that I'm able to access the page. We'll try to do the same thing from here. We'll try to surf again. See that it has, what happened? An error has happened. Try again. Error loading the page because I have removed the access from the IP. So only from this IP, whatever the traffic is coming can access. From other IPs it will not be. So if you try to say anywhere, let's try to save it again, and we'll try to try again here. If you say try again, then it should come now. Then you can see that the page has been displayed here the same way, the same thing. So this is how basically we can create the roles. So these are all the security groups roles. So we can, and also we can only say enable. So whatever we are enabling here, those are enabled. Whatever we are not specifying here, those are all by default disabled. So if you are not specified any other, like let's say if you go to add role, let's say if I are not specified HTTPS, means it is by default disabled. So what you need to do, whatever you are specifying, that will open. So basically, if you want to open only, you can do it, but you cannot block it. You cannot say like create a role which says okay, like HTTPS from some IP, block it. So you cannot say like this. Means like we'll try to say like this. We'll try to see an example. So you can only say, you can only enable the traffic, but you can't disable it. So by default, let's say instance, again AWS instance, it is a security group which we are discussing. So you can only open, so let's say open 22 port, or maybe open 80 port, or maybe open 443 port. So basically you can only open. So whatever is not open, by default it's disabled. No Charles, it's free. The security group is free. So enabling and disabling, it's all free. There's nothing is charged here. You can see, okay. But whatever is not mentioned here, those all will be disabled. If you are trying to connect to port 25, or if you are trying to connect to port 59, or if you are trying to connect to port 21 FTP. So if you are not specified, means by default it's blocked. So that's what. Only you can open, but you can't. So you can say that 22 port from my IP, or maybe from 00, or maybe from 121212, something like this. You can specify from this IP you can connect, means you can connect. But you can't say that okay from 25.25.13.16, whoever is coming from this IP block. It's not like that. You can't specify any deny rules. You can only open rules, something like that. You can do it. So this is how basically you can create rules. So first, if you want to add rules or if you want to modify rules, what you need to do is just click on edit. Then if you want to add rule, click on add rule, and you can select. These are all the different rules here. You can say MySQL, MySQL, RDP, Redshift, PostgreSQL, Oracle. So these are all the different databases, DNS, SSH. So if you want to specify a particular, so if you let's say a custom protocol, so you can select like it's in custom protocol saying that. Okay, or else you can say a TCP protocol. Let's say you can say, so it's a custom TCP. You can say, okay, the custom TCP port number is like say 968, something like that. You can say that's it. Or also you can say that custom UDP also you can say, and also you can say custom ICMP as well. And you can say all TCP means what are the TCP like from 0 to 65,535. This is the range of the port numbers for any server. So all TCP means it will be open for all TCP. You can try to access. You can also same thing like all UDP, all ICMP, the same thing. You can also do it. There is also another option called all traffic. If you mention all traffic for MyAP means everything will be allowed on this instance. You don't have any restrictions for this instance. Or if you say all traffic from anywhere means anybody can access on any port on this particular server. So normally we will not enable all traffic for anywhere. So might be we'll only enable for only MyAP or maybe your organization's IP, so that the only from wherever you are connecting only you can have the actions. You can have the access. Apart from that, you will not have the actions. Sorry, access. That's what it is. That is how we can do it. So all things will be fluid here. You can say that will we have. So and one more thing, whatever you are editing here, it will be applied dynamically. So you don't need to wait any more time. It will just dynamically it will be updated. So when you did something, the change will happen without even a time delay. So you don't need to do it. So it's not like if you add a security group to the instance, or if you change some security group to the instance, you don't need to restart the server, or you don't need to reboot the machine. Excuse me guys. You don't need to reboot, or you don't need to stop and start something. That you don't need to do anything. And the fly itself, those things will be happen. And also you need to choose at least one security group for a instance. So you can't create and launch an instance without a security group. So you need to have a minimum of one security group. That's how we can create. So you can create like around I think around 200 security groups we can attach to an instance. But why we need not 200, I think 50 groups we can attach. So I think we don't need any 50 groups, so we can directly we can specify what are the rules. 200 rules can be created per a security group. So you can create like, you can add like this 200 rules if you want. This is how you can create. So this is the things about the outbound. Also you can do the same thing. So let's say, so we'll try to restart here. We'll try to see EC2-user. I will try to see ping google.com. So now I'm getting the response now, right? So I will close. I'll go to the security group. I will say okay. I will disable all traffic. So I will remove this. Let's say save. Now I don't have any. We'll try to see. Now we'll try to ping again, and you can see it's trying to ping, but it's not able to ping because we have disabled the outgoing traffic. Means it's trying to go, but at the security group level it's blocking. So security group will work like a wall. So as I discussed, it will work like a wall. So behind the wall it's a security group, so big wall. So if you want to come, you need to cross security group and also incoming and outgoing. So it should be through your wall only. So if you block here, you will not be able, you will block it at a security group level only, you will not be able to go out. The same way, if you block anything, you will not be able to access this instance. So if you want to change on the fly, you can change and do it. So we'll try to see the same thing. Now we have seen that pinging is not available. Now we'll try to, I'm not closing that command, you can see guys, and we'll try to edit, add custom rule, all traffic will say, okay, all traffic from anywhere. There is also limit for downloading and uploading under the free tier. Like we have some limit. I think I will check. You can check in the free tier limit for EC2 instances. So till that limit, like maybe 10 GB or maybe 100 GB, something like that is there. So if you are using within the limitations, as I told you, within the terms and conditions, it's free. But if you are crossing it, you'll be charged. So I don't think you will be charged much because you're not using GBs of data here, so you'll not be do it. That's how it is. Okay, now you can have added and we'll try to see it. Now we are getting the response here. Now you can see that we are getting the response. Okay, this is how. And one more thing is how many instances, as we know that. So bandwidth is very high. I think it's like 100 MB per second. It seems, I think more, I think around 100 MB per second. It's like, so let's say, as I told you, you can attach a security group to a number of instances. Means now we have one instance is running, we are attached to demo security group. So we can also create a new instance and we can also attach it to a this security group. So you can attach a number of instances to a security group, and let's say try to see it in a pictorial representation. So this is let's say this is a Linux instance and this is a Windows instance. Think like, okay, both are using the security group demo SG which we have created. Okay, if you want to connect here, if you want to outgo, if you want to connect here, if you want to outgo to Linux instance or Windows instance, you need to pass through demo SG, demo security group. So if you have the roles to allow, then you can allow. If you have rules that's not allowing, then you will be blocked and you will not be able to access. But so whatever we are talking is from the internet. If you are trying to access from the internet, we are talking about the incoming or outgoing. Let's say if this Windows instance from this Windows instance, if you want to connect to Linux instance, or from this Linux instance if you want to connect to Windows instance, so will this security group will be passed or will be crossed like this? Will it work like this? So we'll try to see like. So now if you want to try to from Windows instance, if you want to try to access Linux, will it pass through directory here or will it pass through security group? So what it means, so let's say from Linux if you want to connect, will it pass directly or will it pass from here like this? Pass like this. So for this we'll try to understand. So if any instances, n number of instances which is using the same security group can directly communicate without any security group rules. So if you, let's say in security groups, if you blocked incoming all and if you blocked outgoing all, so security group will only work whoever is coming from the internet. So if you are trying to access, these rules will not work. Means the security groups, whatever, if you have the two instances or more instances which have the same security group can access without rules. Means you can access 22 port, you can access 80 port, you can access 443 port, anything. So these between these instances, and again between these instances you don't have any access restrictions because they are using the same security group the security group is demo SG. So if any instances are using the same security group, they will not have access restrictions. So that will be allowed all. So if you are using the same security group. So if you are not using the same security group, then you need to mention the roles, like what to enable from which IP and all. So this is what the all things about the security group. So you can see now the documents, how to create the roles, how to enable and how to disable, all these things is available in the document. Just go through the document to create and play around with it. So this is it for today's class, guys. So in the tomorrow's class, we'll try to see like what is instance pricing and what is AMI image and all. So we'll try to discuss the addressing scheme if you have the time. So we'll try to see the different topics. So we'll try to create an image AMI. So how to create an AMI, what is AMI and all, we'll try to see. So how to monitor the instance usage, Charles, we'll discuss in the CloudWatch section. So as I told you, we'll go one step by one step and one by one. So we'll try to cover all the things. That's what it is. So don't try to learn by one go. That's what I'm telling. So we'll try to learn all these things which is required and which is to it. For your information, if you want to learn more, so let's say if you want to see the monitoring of a particular this second instance, just click on second instance and you can see in this top 4 you have the monitoring section. If you click on monitoring, if you come down, you can see here like this is the CPU utilization for that, and you can see that this is the disk utilization, and you can see that disk read operations here. You can see that for your specific instance, you can see disk writes, how many disk write, and how many network in means how much traffic came in, and also how much traffic out means from your instance how much is outbound traffic, and also how many packets in, the packets count, and also how many packets out, you can also see here. So everything will be here. It's all free, guys. The monitoring section here, it's, you can see whatever you're seeing, it's all free. You don't need to pay for anything. AWS will give it for free, all these monitoring. So we'll discuss more about the monitoring in the CloudWatch section. There is a service or product which is available called CloudWatch, which is specifically for the monitoring. So we'll discuss there. So now you can start your questions, guys. I think you can raise your hands so that we can also speak. So I will unmute you guys so that you can directly speak with me. So you can raise hands. So you can raise hands from the GoToMeeting, GoToTraining. So if anyone want to ask the questions directly instead of chat, you can just raise your hands, or you can say that unmute me so that I can unmute you. So we'll start the question. I mean, my question come from Ajay Sharma. Like suppose you have if I have consumed free tier services, then AWS intimate me first before charging my card. So basically by default it will not be do it, but we have a service where we can create some alert saying that if we cross the AWS free type, then AWS will do it. So we can basically create that alerts so that if we cross that AWS free type, send me an email saying that you have already completed your free test. So we'll see in the next section, those things will be available in the alerting section and all. We'll discuss all these things. So by default it will not do anything, but where you can have an option to choose send an alert from AWS saying that you have crossed your, or you have reached your free tier limit. That's possible. So any other questions, guys? If you want to unmute, I will unmute you so that you can directly ask me instead of chat. Remote means what is Satyabalan? You want to take the remote session of mine? Okay, a remote session, yes. If your thin clients, normally thin clients will support the RDP. So what you need to do is, basically you need to enter this IP address whatever here, and you need to get the password, Windows password or the Linux Windows password. Then using that Windows password as we shown, right, we can enable like this here mstst, and we have enabled the IP address. Then it will ask for the username and the password, and based in the thin client also same, you can use this some IP, whatever the IP which you have assigned for your instance. Then you can use the administrator username and the password. Using that username and password, you can connect using the thin clients. You can do it. 1 second, Ajay, I will try to unmute you. Yes, Ajay, you can speak now.
Okay. Am I able to use this? Hello.
What? Yes, yes, go ahead, go ahead.
Sabir, good morning and but see, I'm at this particular moment I'm concerned about AWS training.
Ajay,
I want to.
Ajay, a lot of disturbance is coming. I mean, the voice is like I'm getting some static voice, static sounds as well from your end.
Okay.
I'm not able to hear a single word.
Okay. No problem. I'll go back.
Yeah, sure then. Thank you. So, any other questions, guys? Or if you want to directly ask, also you can also ask. So you might not have much questions at this point of time because we have just started. So while going, you will have a bunch of questions, guys. That's for sure. So today, try to create some instances and try to create some security groups and play around with it. One second, guys. Questions means for the certifications, Satyabalan. So as I told you in the first session, I think you might not there. We will have a specific session for the certification, where in the LMS I will upload you around 100 questions regarding this AWS. So, and also we'll discuss most of the questions there, and we'll try to see how to basically you can attend certification, how you can book for the certification, and also how you can answer the questions, how you can analyze the questions. So we'll try to analyze the questions and see what is the right answer and what is wrong answer. So why it is right and why it is wrong. So we'll also see all these things in a separate session. Mostly it might be the end of the session, the last session for the course. So you'll have this all the training of certification standpoint, where you'll have like around, as I told you, you'll have 100 questions. So we'll try to see what are the questions and all. So at the time we'll have all the questions and all. That is there in the course curriculum itself. You'll be done it. So all the practicals, yes, Ajay, because you need to do it on AWS. So if you want to do it, what you need to do is you need to log into the management console as we are logging in. You need to create, and you need to do it all the things. Everything will be an online. Without online, you cannot connect to the cloud, so you can't do anything. Uh, Narsimha, if you want help with some documentation for Linux or Windows commands, you just type in Google or YouTube Narsimha. You'll get a lot of bunch of documentation is there. It's not like I can provide you something. Everything is there actually. So if you go to basic commands of Linux or basic commands of Windows, or you can just go through it so that you can understand the administration standpoint, Linux or Windows. You can find it on the Google or YouTube, everything. So which is not like I can give you or something like that. You'll find very much good articles. And from Charles, if I create my own instance and try to access from my office, means from the particular domain, will it be able? So where here in the security groups, as I told you, we can only specify the from which IP you can connect. So basically you can give an IP of your public IP of your office or your organization. It will not be like your domain, like Active Directory domain and LDAP domain. So that is not possible. That you cannot create security group rules based on the domains and based on the users. That is not available. Only security groups will work through all the network, the TCP layer, network layer, the 3 and 4, using the IP addresses only. So it will not work with the domains and all. Yeah, I think the questions whatever I'm providing, like it's more beneficial to you, and it will be like, and even some of the questions, which I prepared from those questions, like some of the real-time questions which came in the examination, and some on questions which is came in the practice exams as well. So if you can understand those questions, if you can able to understand, analyze those questions, then you can basically easily you can able to clear that exam. But you need a lot of hands-on experience. You just listen to this class will not help you out in cracking the certification or passing the certification. Whatever we are doing, whatever we are implementing, you need to practice it. You need to put your hands and mind on here. So if you didn't put that, if you don't practice anything, then you will not be able to do it. So you have to put a lot of work, so then only you can able to understand each and every service and how it is working and what are the settings and how, then only you can basically understand, and then only you can able to clear the examination. That's all. The passing percentage for examination is 65%. uh, Rahul, 65, if you get 65%, then you'll be pass. So anything above 65 is pass. So questions will be like, it's like 80 questions will be there. 80 questions will be there. So we'll discuss all these things in the section which is specific to the AWS certifications. So there we can discuss what are the questions we have. You can ask me all these questions there, and we will also see, as I told you, we'll have practice session, practice questions and all. So what I will do is I will ask, I will not show you, I will only show you the questions. I will not give you the answers. So you need to see and try to tell me what is the answer and why and all this thing. So we'll see all the interactive session there. So we'll have a fun for this certification, that's for sure. So you'll be there. So we'll see in that session, so that whatever you have the questions related to the certification, you can ask at the time. uh, Means Mridul, all instance and work do through this AWS portal, means yes, you can create, manage, install, sorry, not install, reboot, restart, stop and start. This is the management console. Basically, it's an easy way to do it. If you are from a developer point of view, and if you know some languages like Java, PHP, Python, or something like that, so there is also SDKs available, like software development kits. So using this software development kits, like using those programming, like you can also create instances from the programming also, you can also do that, but you need to have understanding of those things. So for if you're not having any a programming knowledge or something like that, it will be tough for you to do it through programming. So it's better to, it's better we can do it from a management console, but we have also option to do it from the CLI using the programming languages as well. So session completed, Himmat. So we are just going with the question and answer sections. No, there is no negative marking in the examinations, that is for sure. So basically, Satya, if you want to install any application, you just need to download, or you just need to copy and paste. Yeah, so you can need to copy or paste. You can copy from your instance, your laptop, then paste it in the Control C from your Windows or any your laptop or desktop, then Control V it in the Windows machine, so that it will be copied. Or you can download from the websites. There you can download and install it. That's how you can do it. Yes, you need to download from internet. Thank you, guys. Any other questions? If you are enough for the questions, then we can close the session. You can use tools called wget. Using that, you can download those. A command called wget is there, where you can yeah, download those packages. So we'll see. We'll try to install some WordPress on Linux as well as in Windows. There we'll try to see how we can download and all, Rahul. we'll try to see. I think again you need to understand some Linux concepts if you want to download and all. If you want to see, there is a command called duplicate. As I told, using the duplicate we can download the applications or the packages from the internet. Any other questions, guys? Okay, guys, there is no more questions. Chalo then. We'll meet you tomorrow at the same time, 9 o'clock morning in the morning. So we'll try to see different other topics like AMI, Amazon Machine Image, and instance types, instance features, and all. So we'll try to see, and we'll try to see how to create an image and how to, from the image, how to create an instance and all. We'll try to see. Okay, guys. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye. I'm ending the session.